There is a question that I would like to ask that can be answered after perhaps the complete presentation that I have. And this is the question. Is ABS-CBN, and I would like to say this, no, and I'm not picking on ABS-CBN alone. I believe that God has allowed this franchise issue to be tackled by Congress so that the other networks will realize the values of what I'm going to say. So this is not just ABS-CBN. This is all the networks that we have in our country today. So I would like to pose the question, and the answer would be afterwards. Is ABS-CBN following the 2004 implementing rules and regulations of Presidential Decree number 1986 as updated October 2012 on TV classification, applying contemporary Filipino cultural values as standard? That would be the comprehensive question, Mr. Chair. Next slide. Sexy wet performance in ASAP. It says, remember when rival Sunday noontime shows Party Pilipinas and ASAP both grabbed the attention of the MTRCB. In 2013, Lavi Po and Rocco Nasino had a sensual number in Party Pilipinas while Ann Curtis performed a sexy wet performance in ASAP. Next slide. Just like other long-running shows in this list, ASAP had its own share of encounters with the MTRCB. One recent incident was Ann Curtis' 28th birthday production number, where she did a, I quote, wet performance of Rihanna's hit song, Diamonds. In the performance, aired in February 24, 2013, Anne wore a black strapless dress with a very high slit. Next slide. Next slide, please. In June 2014, the MTRCB imposed strict rules on Pinoy Big Brother, all in following a controversy that involved housemate Jaime Halandoni posing nude for a painting. Posing nude as task in Pinoy Big Brother. Next slide, please. Certain sectors, including the Philippine Commission on Women, raised concerns about a weekly task wherein Big Brother urged Jaime to post nude for a painting that would raise funds for a charity. Jaime who is vocal about being a devoted Christian, backed out from the nude painting challenge, as did the three other housemates, Daniel Machonaga, Michelle Gumabao, and Ranti Portento, who were supposed to accompany her. PBB All In issued a public apology as ordered by the MTRCB through TV Patrol. The government agency also ordered the show to adopt gender-sensitive measures, including seminars in coordination with the Philippine Commission on Women. Next slide, please.
Kong Benny,
Yes.
inform ko na po kayo, dinagdagan kayo ng additional 5 minutes ni Congressman Mike D.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Offending sensibilities in Pinoy Big Brother. In July 2015, MTRCB ordered PBB 737 to enter in as I quote, strict and close collaboration with the regulatory board, as the resolution stated that certain scenes in the show offended the sensibilities of the viewing public. Next slide, please. The patong scene in The Better Half. One scene in The Better Half showed the character of Denise Laurel on top of Carlo Aquino while making love. Mocha described the bed scene by saying, and I quote, "Ang haba ng halikan, mayroon pang nakapatong yung babae sa lalaki." Next slide, please. The PNP striptease scene in On the Wings of Love in a PNP uniform. In January 2016, MTRCB summoned the top executives of ABS-CBN to discuss James Reid's striptease scene in the TV series On the Wings of Love, which top-billed him and love team partner Nadine Lustre. This was in connection to Philippine National Police complaint about the improper use of the police uniform in television and movies for that matter. Next slide, please. Attorney Villarreal said in his statement, "The said episode portrayed actor James Reid doing a striptease while wearing a PNP General Office uniform, allegedly with a police badge and showing the rank of SP04. Next slide, please. Degrading scenes in its showtime. In August 2014, it was reported that MTRCB called for a mandatory conference with its Showtime's executives and host Vice Ganda for alleged offensive and degrading scenes aired in the July 28, 2014 episode of the show. According to the letter signed by MTRCB Hearing and Adjudication Committee Co-Chairperson Eric Malyonga and committee members Bobby Andrews and Joey Romero, and I quote, "The challenge portion in the program segment entitled Gandang Lalaki showed program host Mr. Jose Vizeral, aka Vice Ganda, wiping off with a towel his sweaty armpit and smudged this towel all over the face of one of the program's male dancers." Next slide, please. Foul language in Pangako Sa'yo. MTRCB called the attention of executives of the defunct teleserye Pangako Sa'yo for the use of foul language in the May 29 episode of the show. The episode in question, which happened 3 days after its pilot episode, featured a confrontation scene between Pilar Pilapil and Ian Veneracion. Benita, who is Pilar, confronted her son Eduardo, Ian, after he had a relationship with their cook Amor, Jody Santamaria, despite his engagement to Claudia Angelica Panganiban. She told her son, "Kung pampalipas libog lang yan." That's okay. Go ahead. Next slide, please. Another foul language in Pangako Sa'yo, which was top-billed by Catherine Bernardo and Daniel Padilla, was placed at the 8:30 p.m. time slot where kids and younger audiences are expected to be awake. Next slide. Steamy car love scene in Till I Met You. In November 2016, MTRCB called for a meeting with executives of the Jadin primetime series Till I Met You. The episodes in question were aired from October 25 to 28, 2016. Viewers filed complaints about the steamy car love scene of James and Nadine aired on October 25, as well as the bathtub scene of the Jadin love team that aired in the succeeding episodes. Next slide. While the October 25 episode carried a strong parental guidance or SPG rating, the other episodes only had a PG rating. Another picture in next slide. X rating in Maalaala Mo Kaya. In 2012, Maalaala Mo Kaya's Cursed Beauty episode featuring Jane Onesa and Angel Aquino was initially given an X rating by the MTRCB, which means that it is not for public exhibition. This is the reason why MMK had to postpone its June 2, 2012 airing since it was submitted again for another review to the MTRCB. The MMK episode tackled a sensitive topic since Jane's character is a 15-year-old girl who is recurrently raped by her stepfather. Next slide. Angel's character, who played Jane's mother, reportedly assisted her live-in partner while doing the act of rape. Almost a month later, in June 28, MMK finally aired the controversial episode with an SPG rating. And so, I'd like to ask ABS-CBN, do you have a morality issue? Are we to assume, next slide, that if given another 25 years, these are the type of programs you will continue to air? The last question is, have you forsaken contemporary Filipino cultural values and morality in favor of the ratings? I'd like to ask ABS-CBN to please answer these questions. I would like to say this, not because, Mr. Chair, that I am a bishop, that I have a holier-than-thou attitude. No. I am not only a bishop, but I'm a family man. I have children. I have grandchildren. And even if MTRCB would issue a rating of SPG or whatever it might be, we've got to remember that TV is a public viewing, unlike the movies, where if it is rated only 16 years old and above can come and see the movie. 15 years and below cannot enter. That is not like television. May I ask, therefore, as our good attorney said, that the articles and the provisions I read in the Constitution also applies in broadcasting and media. May I now please ask the questions or give it to our ABS-CBN officials.
Your Honor, good afternoon po, Congressman Abante. To your first question po about PD 1986, yes po, to your first question po, sa PD 1986, yung sa MTRCB po, yes po, we comply po with all the MTRCB program classifications that are recommended. Congressman, kung meron mga unresolved issues po, we present our position to the Adjudication Committee of MTRCB and we come up po with agreements and changes moving forward po. With regards to your second question po, rest assured po na iisa po ang ating layunin na mapangalagaan, iisa po ang ating layunin na mapangalagaan ang moral at spiritual values ng pamilyang Pilipino. We tell po stories that teach life lessons and our stories po embody Filipino values. Filipino values po like hard work, honesty, respect, resilience, and most of all po, love for family, country, and God. Dahil po, ang sentro ng aming mga kwento ay ang pamilyang Pilipino. Personally po, I assure you that moving forward, we will continue to be responsible content producers that make a positive influence in the lives of the Filipino. Maganda po ang hangarin namin. We want to entertain, inspire, and give hope to the Filipino audience. If there are infractions po, we correct them right away, and definitely po, we apologize to our audiences. Yun lang po, Mayor Congressman Abante.
Maganda po yung inyong sinabi, and I would like to just, Mr. Chair, quote the commentary of a certain attorney Josephus Jimenez of the Freeman. This is entitled The Social Irrelevance of Noontime TV Shows and Telenovelas. And this is not just ABS-CBN, okay? He said, I do not know if you have read this, and I would like now please to quote this. With great sadness and dismay, I am constrained to say that all the leading TV and radio networks and even most print media organizations in the Philippines today are feeding the minds of the people with trash and dirty garbage that distort the values and sense of purpose of the young and old alike. Noontime TV shows poison people and telenovelas distract them from social and economic realities. Dirty jokes, lewd dances, and vulgar language pollute the airwaves and poison the Filipino soul. Influence the formation of a national thought, culture, and paradigm. And that is how powerful the media is. In the Philippines, most of these media are just in it for the money. They don't have any sense of patriotism or love of country. It is pure business for them. All they are after are ads, circulation, and to some even envelopmental journalism, being bribed to push a selfish or insidious advocacy. They don't think of the larger implications of what they publish to the long-range strategies and objectives of the nation. What the people see and hear reflect the kind of nation we have. The print and broadcast media here in the Philippines and in fairness, in many other third world countries, are fixated on making money through ads to fuel consumerism and market liberalism, disregarding the loftier purposes of value formation to build a strong nation and a people of a sturdy character and values. The national government agencies that regulate print and broadcast media are either manned by incompetent executives who are political appointees without a noble purpose, or being bribed not to censor or suspend erring practitioners and network. Noontime shows that propagate the people's culture of mendicancy. The host gives money and jackets, all of those things. So I would like to ask the ABS-CBN, just like what Attorney Jimenez here, Joseph Jimenez asked. Ang sabi niya rito my question is simple. What is the social relevance of all this? What are the redeeming social values? He further said, I have a very high respect for Boy Abunda. He is one of the more sensible TV hosts, which include Karen Davila, Ted Filon, and Tina Monsoon Falma. But Boy Abunda's hackneyed questions, and I quote, sex or chocolate, lights on or lights out, the best time of the day to have sex, irritate me, ang sabi ni Attorney Jimenez. What do these questions have to do with building a strong value system and national character for our nation and people? He said, I paused for any reply. I think until now, there was no reply. And perhaps right now, the ABS-CBN has the chance to be able to answer them.
Kong Abante, before ko po pasagutin yung ABS, inform ko lang po yun na binigyan kayo ng additional time tulad ni Congressman Mike D, ni Congressman Tony Pet Albano. Additional 5 minutes po.
Thank you po. Thank you. Thank you very much.
ABS.
Congressman Abante,
Yes.
we have continued to work on improving our content through the years po. There is no intention to give the audience trash. Kasi po, mahal namin ang audience namin, and we are here to serve them. Ang Channel 2 po has a general audience.
Please let me interrupt. I do realize that you have no bad intention.
Opo.
But what is said is already said. And even if you do not have any bad intention, the fact that they were said to others reviewing it, it's not good.
Yes, I acknowledge that, Congressman Abante. And moving forward, we'll make sure po. I was just going to say po, in Channel 2 kasi, we have a general audience. So, sinisigurado po namin na nabibigyan namin ng audience ng iba't ibang kwento at karanasan para po masagot namin ang iba't ibang pangangailangan ng mga miyembro ng pamilya. Hindi po kami nagsasabi or nagmamalinis. As we said, we may be imperfect, but we continue to strive to work on those imperfections. And I take note po, Congressman Abante, of all the insights, all the observations, and moving forward po, we will make sure we address them.
Ito po, I hope that the other networks are listening and watching. Ito, media rin po ang nagtatanong. Media rin ang nagsasabi. Opo, sapagkat yun namang audience natin, wala naman silang lakas na loob magsalita. No. Ngayon, pagdating dito sa Kongreso, syempre, I have to be objective with everything I say.
Yes po.
I cannot be biased, no? For example, like sabi ni Jason sa kanina, bias kayo. Tatanungin ko sana siya kung siya hindi bias. Ganoon din naman eh. Di ba? While, in reality, Mr. Chair, sana mag-point of order ako kanina kay Jason sapagkat alam na sa social media na panay ang tira niya sa inyo eh. Oo. So, here is a guy that says you are biased in your reporting and he does not even have the authority to say it's not biased. Pero ito po, media nagsasabi ha, in a particular column in Philippine Star, an opinion targeted TVs and radio networks on the issue of, and I would like to quote, feeding the minds of the people with trash and dirty garbage that distort the value and sense of purpose of the young and old alike. Now, I know you do not have this intention, but these words are real and honest that is being done by a television network. Now, let me ask a question to you. If you say that you do not do this and that you value the families, how can we correct this?
Sorry, Cong Abante, can you repeat the last question?
Ito po ang sabi, how can we correct this? No? Ito mo sinasabi sa Philippine Star, feeding the minds of the people with trash and dirty garbage that distort the value and sense of purpose of the young and old alike. How would you think we should correct this?
Moving forward po, we will handle that po with our producers. I personally po will supervise our producers. Pwede po lang akong sumagot dun sa noontime show kanina.
Go ahead.
Opo. Gusto ko lang po sabihin that Showtime and Vice Ganda, ang gusto lang po nila talaga ay magpasaya ng mamamayang Pilipino. Mr. Chairman, yeah. I just feel that the hosts, diba, have they don't have any deliberate intention, diba, to hurt anybody when they do the program. They want people to have fun. They want to give happiness.
Alam ko
Yes
po.
po, they have to be very, very responsible. They self-regulate po. They try their best to self-regulate. And if there are some falters or excesses, they're quick to make up po. Gusto lang ko po lang sabihin that ang intensyon lang po namin lahat is magbigay ng dekalidad ng mga programa na may values po para magabayan ang pamilyang Pilipino. It has never been, as I will repeat po, Congressman Abante, it has never been our intention to destroy any person, to hurt any family. Nanay po din ako, Congressman Abante. I'm very sensitive to that, and our team po, I can attest to that. We make sure that we continue to work on responsibility when we produce our stories, when we produce our experiences. And because po, it's not about us, it's about the people we serve. And that's what we've dedicated our lives to, Congressman Abante.
Alam ko po,
Ngayon
in fact-
po, we will continue to improve that service. As I said earlier, we may have our imperfections, but we are going to move forward and we will work at improving our content.
Salamat po sa inyong kasagutan. Alam ko po yun and pinapasalamatan ko po yun.
Salamat
You
po.
know, at alam ko naman na sa mga question pong ito, maaaring maging kontribida ako sapagkat very, very popular ang inyong noontime shows.
Opo.
Ngayon, kaya sinasabi ko po na ito po mga bagay na ito ay hindi ko po ito katanungan at mga statement, kundi statement din po ito ng media. Oo. Pinaparating din po ito sa inyo upang magkaroon tayo ng pagbabago. sa ating mga programs.
Yes,
Opo,
Congressman.
na talagang kayo po, kapamilya po kayo, di ba?
Yes.
And you believe in you believe in family values.
Yes po.
You believe in moral values. Therefore, dapat magkaroon po tayo ng self-regulation. Not only because the MTRCB says so, that magikinig po tayo mismo. If we believe in discipline, if we believe in moral values, the Filipinos being a religious people, I think that we also have to listen to this, hindi po ba? To be able to really change. And I would like to know, I appreciate your answers. Pero gusto ko po lang ituloy ito. Ano po?
Opo.
So, magiging malinaw po sa atin. Ito, I quote, sinabi rin po ito ng media, noontime TV shows poison people and telenovelas distract them from social and economic realities, dirty jokes, lewd dances, vulgar language, pollute the airwaves and poison the Filipino soul. Well, of course, kayo nandirito, no? So you are the one to answer. And the question of the columnist, which I now propound to you, is this: what is the social relevance of all this? Meron po ba? Meron po ba o wala?
Meron po, Congressman. Unang-una po, I just would like to say that yes, we practice self-regulation po. And everybody in our team knows that po. We do not allow that kind of language in our programs po. If there are, as I said earlier, if there are slips po.
Ba't nakakalusot po eh?
Yun nga, slips po ang tawag. Nako po, hindi po, it doesn't go unpassed. When there are slips po, we make sure we deal with it immediately, and everybody in our team can attest to that po.
Oh. Therefore, wala po talaga itong social relevance. Kasi for example, you want to have an honest show. Oh, rape scene po ito. Ibig nyo sabihin, to be honest, that you will actually vividly picture a rape scene in public? Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not. Di po ba?
Of course not.
Of course not. So therefore,
yeah,
gusto ko rin
of course
tanungin, nakalagay po dito, what are the redeeming social values? There's no redeeming social values.
Congressman, sandali lang po.
Opo.
Yeah, I will answer you. Yung pong sinasabi niyong mga sexual scenes and ano. Number one po, we have no theme of any show that's focused on just sex po. Number two po, if there are sexual scenes, these are only used po to establish relationships at hindi po short, ano po ha, hindi siya mahabang scenes po. It's only used to establish relationships and heighten conflict. Pero po, sana makita yung kabuuan ng mga kwento namin, hindi lang scenes isolated from each other. Kasi pag nakita po ninyo yung kabuuan ng kwento, dun nyo ma-appreciate that all our programs po stand for Filipino values, as I said earlier. So, dahil pamilya po ay importante sa amin, the values of family, malasakit sa bayan, at pagmamahal sa Diyos po, makikita niyo yun. Even our kontrabidas po have redeeming values in the end. They have learnings. They learn later on to forgive instead of just have a life of revenge. Marami pong lessons na ganun na even the kontrabidas po learn towards the end. And that's the redeeming value po. So we also work, as I said, when we have life lessons in our programs, that's our way po of giving inspiration, of giving our simple life lessons to the audiences. Ang mga lessons po na wag mawawala ng pag-asa, kumapit po sa Diyos, work hard and make sure, di ba, that what you do is for the good of others. Marami po kaming lessons po sa aming mga kwento, pero sana po, imbis na specific scenes lang po ang makita natin, sana ma-appreciate natin, Mr. Chairman at Mr. Congressman Abante, yung kabuuan ng programa at yung nadadala at nadudulot niyang inspirasyon at pag-asa sa aming mga manonood. Yun lang po.
Naniniwala po ako doon sa kabuuan. Kinakailangang i-judge ang isang program sa kabuuan. Pero pag nagpapakita po ron sa kabuuan ng patong scene, kahit po kayong nanay, hindi niyo papayagan eh. Hindi po ba? Ayan, pinakita ko sa inyo po yung patong scene.
Ay, opo.
Pinakita ko sa inyo yung torrid lips-to-lips kissing. Mr. Chair, my colleagues, I believe that many of your shows give realities and true stories of Filipino experiences. Pero pag meron na po itong tinatawag na torrid kissing scenes in public, napapanood kahit ng mga bata. No, meron po, pinakita ko sa inyo. Oh, ang hirap lang ng MTRCB, saka kayo bibigyan ng warning na ipalabas na eh. I think that you ought to change that. I think we have the MTRCB rin, Mr. Chair, isn't it? And I will be asking them also some questions that they ought to realize. For example, like yung patong scene sa Better Half. Naipalabas yun eh. Hindi naman po nakikita ng audience yung kabuuan. Nakikita po nila yung mga titillating scenes eh. Why? Sasabi ko nga sa inyo, the spiritual reality of human nature. That's why we are a nation of laws and not of men. Ano po? Now, ito po nakalagay. And I would like to ask the MTRCB to answer me on this. Letter D, disapproved for airing on television. Any television program that does not conform to the G, PG, or SPG classification shall be disapproved for television broadcast. The material shall be disapproved for television broadcast if, in the judgment of the board, applying contemporary Filipino culture values as standard, it is objectionable for being immoral, indecent, contrary to law, and of good customs, injurious to the prestige of the Republic of the Philippines or its people, or with a dangerous tendency to encourage the commission of violence or of a wrong or crime, such as but not limited to the work depicts in a patently lewd, offensive, or demeaning manner excretory functions and sexual conduct such as sexual intercourse, masturbation, and exhibition of the genitals. I would like to ask the MTRCB to please enlighten me on this. And why is it that you're only warning our television networks after airing what we may say a violation of your rule?
MTRCB, Executive Director Anne Menzo, pakisagot po yung tanong ni Congressman Abante.
Hello po. Good afternoon po.
Yes.
To answer your question, sir, MTRCB requires the network to submit a program, an episode of their program, and then it is reviewed by our board members. They are a committee of 3. And then if ever the committee finds that the material submitted is for PG or parental guidance, the succeeding episodes of that particular program for the next 13 weeks should carry and should conform with the parental guidance parameters.
And you're reviewing it, right?
Only one episode, Congressman. Just
One
a sample
episode.
episode.
So then, pinapalabas yan, and afterwards you issue a warning.
Once,
Question is, bakit na ipapalabas? And then you issue a warning.
we only review one sample episode, Congressman. And then the networks for the next 13 weeks will exercise self-regulation,
Yun.
making sure that the succeeding episodes will conform to the rating given based on the sample episode submitted and reviewed by the board.
So self-regulation, correct?
Yes, Congressman.
All right, now, let me ask you another question here. Okay? Should there be a stricter guidelines on television, different from movies?
It is a different set of parameters, Congressman, because for
What I'm
movies,
saying is, should there be a stricter guidelines?
yes, Congressman.
Should there be?
Yes, there should
And
be a
therefore-
stricter.
And therefore, Congress should review your guidelines.
The reason for having
You will be able to safeguard the families, the children, the parents, and everyone.
yes, Congressman, that's the reason why MTRCB came up with a advisory. It's an advisory of the rating of the particular program shown before the program to advise the adult present to guide their children whether the material should be watched by them or not. Also, another measure that MTRCB implemented is they have a pictogram. You will see it at the bottom lower portion of your TV. It's color coded. It's green for G, PG for blue, and then red for SPG. Also, the reason for this, it is superimposed all throughout the program because if you were not able to watch or catch the advisory at the beginning, you are still guided by that pictogram.
My last question to ABS-CBN, sirs and ma'am, no? If ever, and this is not for me, all right? It's not for me, okay? You can do what you want to do and you do not need to listen to me as a person. But if ever, we are going to give you a 25-year franchise, would there be changes in your programming and content programs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.